think of eternal life. At the beginning of my message, I suggested with a smile that some of you might be hoping to find a prospect for marriage, perhaps in the not-too-distant future. May I offer a word of counsel in addition to that quotation from President McKay about keeping your eyes wide open? The commandment to love our neighbors without discrimination is certain, but it must not be misunderstood. It applies generally. Selection of a marriage partner, on the other hand, involves specific and not general criteria. After all, you can only be married to one individual. The probabilities of a successful marriage are known to be much greater if both the husband and wife are united in their religion, language, culture, and ethnic background. Thus, in choosing your eternal companion, please be wise. It's better not to fly in the face of constant headwinds. Occasional squalls provide challenge enough.
Travis Wayne Goodsell. Yep. Confirmed that President Russell M. Nelson is not only a racist, but is inciting racism in Mormons, as the YouTube employee sought to stop the upload of my third video on this same subject. I found it. I caught him. It's Shark Week, and I smell blood. Nelson is about to go into his meeting in an hour and a half, his weekly meeting, and I want to make sure he gets this message. And then, unfortunately, our government and the Southern Poverty Law Center are not getting this message, as I've been giving them tips, documents, and evidence about the church. But the FBI is investigating BYU, which means the church. Whether they have Mormons doing the investigation or not, I don't know. So, the Southern Poverty Law Center on their website defines a hate group and says that organizations that vilify others because of their race, religion, ethnicity, sexual orientation, or gender identity, that prejudices that strike at the heart of our democratic values, no, it's constitutional republic values, and fracture society along its most fragile fault lines. A little metaphoric graphic for you. But it's the concept of vilifying others. See, it's not talking about crime. It's where you accuse falsely another person of being the bad guy because of their race, religion, ethnicity, sexual orientation, or gender identity. And the church does this to other people. If you're not Mormon, you are the enemy. You are satanic. You are followers of Lucifer. You're heathen, apostate. If you leave the church, they vilify you. You are a Korahor, apostate, evil, corrupt. You neglected to study your scriptures. You neglected to go to church. You neglected to pay your tithing. It's just a simple, you vilify somebody wrongfully. In our justice system, innocent until proven guilty. So this whole cancel culture movement, oops, They're vilifying people without a standard measurement, such as a court of law, for that process. Now, unfortunately, courts of law have failed us, as innocent people get locked up, guilty get set free, etc. And even on discriminatory lines. But the FBI, in order to prosecute somebody, to lock them up, they have the requirement that a crime must have been committed. And so it's not just the vilifying part of it. Southern Poverty Law Center, vilify, but for the FBI, criminal offense motivated by the vilifying someone because of their race, religion, ethnicity, sexual orientation, or gender identity. And so it's defined a criminal offense against a person or property motivated in whole or in part by an offender's bias against a race, religion, disability. So that's not included in the Southern Poverty Law Center's listing. Sexual orientation, ethnicity, gender, or gender identity. And the church is guilty of these crimes. The FBI, for example, investigating BYU having just barely stopped conversion therapies at BYU for those who are LGBTQIAPO+. That is a hate-motivated crime because of the church's vilifying of those who are LGBTQIAPO+. It's a clear and cut case. I don't know why they're taking this long to figure it out, other than Mormon FBI agents are on the case to shut it down after a long delay, hoping that we've forgotten about it. And so Brad Wilcox, yeah, he vilified blacks. And he passed the buck to God. Why did God? The church is a hate group, automatically. Because Brad Wilcox got that from the prophets of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And it began from Brigham Young. We have the documents. We know Brigham Young is guilty. We know he's the source. We know he's the cause. And it's been passed on from generation to generation to generation to generation to generation. John D. Lee, influenced by Brigham Young. As Brigham Young, I found that document, remember? He knows and accepts full responsibility for the Mountain Meadows Massacre. But the church purposely makes sure none of us know this, as they have their agents all over the world, and on YouTube and Facebook and Twitter and Amazon and your local stores, to make sure you are silenced. I'm silenced. I couldn't believe the audacity. But yeah, they're brazen. They think nobody will punish them. And yeah, nobody has. I do the reporting, hey, this is a hate crime. They retaliate. Then they go to the extreme. They send hackers on my computer to toy around with my apps and programs and functioning. Shut down my internet. And then they shut down my channel. Oh, you said something wrong, Travis. We're not going to tell you what it is. and there isn't anything, but we're shutting you down. And there's nothing you can do about it because your appeal is denied by the same person who shut you down. And so you can't post videos on Travis Wayne Goodsell until April 21st. And there's nothing you can do about it. This is what they do. They can't be good, they must be bad. And to cover up that they're bad, they are further bad. They commit crimes and cover up their crimes with more crimes. And they're getting away with it. The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints is getting away with it. They're tampering with historical documents, rewriting history. They're setting things in motion for the millennium. They paid Putin for the Ukraine war. They paid Putin for the Russian hacks. They paid China for the China hacks. They want America destroyed so that they can have Brigham Young's Deseret back with all of its hate, with all of its crimes. This is what I've been telling you and warning you. The church is a hate group. They are a criminal organization to the extreme that they're terrorists, to the extreme that they're seditious. And they aren't stopping, and nobody is stopping them, despite all the tips, all the documents, all the evidence I've given to our government. And in that short little clip that I keep putting the link to where it is from the BYU speeches, you can read it for yourself, you can hear it for yourself, you can download it for yourself. Nelson is caught, exposed for the hater he is. And so now when you go back and listen to all his talks where he says love, and he even says love in this talk, he talks about the Greek love, but he makes it very clear it's general, not specific. Specific, he makes it clear he's a racist, sexist, bigot, a hate group.